Hi, my name is Alexandra Paloma da Rosa Itaramaya Sarmento, and I am from Environmental Engineering student batch 2023. Today, in this video, I will present my final presentation in solid waste and hazardous waste treatment. And the title of my final presentation is Evaluation and Planning of Hazardous Waste B3 Management at Deli Serdang Regional General Hospital. So let's begin with the slide. So the first slide, we will talk about the background and the problem statement. So for the background, this study focuses on the management of hazardous waste, also known as B3 waste, at RSUD Deli Serdang, at Deli Serdang, sorry. As we know, hospital waste can pose serious risk to both public health and the environment. That's why it is important to evaluate the current waste practices and plan for better solutions that follow environmental regulations and protect health and safety. For the problem statement, there are three main questions here of this study. Are first, how is B3 waste currently managed at RSUD Deli Serdang? Second, what are the weaknesses or inefficiencies in that system? And last, what strategies or improvements can be proposed for better hazardous waste management in the future? And here we have the literature review. To support this study, I reviewed several important topics. This includes the definitions and classification of B3 waste and how the waste is managed based on its characteristics and previous studies on hospital waste management, both in Indonesia and internationally. And for the applied regulation, there are three key regulations used in this study. First, the government Regulation number 101 of 2014 on B3 waste management. Second, the Minister of Health Regulation number 7 of 2019 on hospital environmental health. Third, we have the regulation number P56 of 2015 from the Ministry of Environment and Forestry, which sets technical requirements for management B3 waste in healthcare facilities. And we also have the methods of the study, which is the location and time, the data collection method. For the location and time, the study was conducted at Deli Serdang Regional General Hospital between 2022 and 2023. For the data collection method, for the primary data, the data through field observation and interviews with hospital staff, and for the secondary data, such as internal hospitals, documents, and standard operating procedures supported by references from government regulations. And here we have the results in discussion. There are one table for the waste identification type and quantity, and also for the one table for the gap analysis between applied waste management versus regulation. So the analysis included identifying the types and quantities of hazardous waste produced by the hospitals, and a gap analysis was also conducted to compare the current waste management practices with what the regulation require. From this, we could clearly see which areas meet the standard and which areas still need improvements, especially in segregation. Next, for the solid waste management study, we have waste collection. For waste collection, the center of gravity method was used to select the best location to reduce transportation cost, and the selected site is in Taman Sidoarjo, East Java, and has a total area of almost 5 hectares. For B, waste segregation, um, actually, it's not explicitly discussed in the thesis that I am using, as the focus of the research is on optimal collection and location. However, the regulations state that B3 waste should not be mixed, indicating the need for segregation based on its type. C, for the temporary storage, A 4.95 hectare warehouse is designed based on the total waste volume, and and the calculations are made based on the total volume of waste and the area required for safe storage. For the integrated waste treatment, I put there no information because the thesis does not discuss non-B3 waste processing such as composting enzyme. The main focus is on the collection and storage. In this slide, the solid waste treatment study, we have the packaging hazardous waste. The packaging of hazardous waste involves using 200-liter metal drums. These drums can be stacked up to 3 levels and must be placed on pallets, clearly labeled and separated by type like infectious or chemical waste. The warehouse is designed following bipedal 1995 standards with 1 meter clearance from walls, banded areas, and proper ventilation and drainage. So the total area required is nearly 5 hectares to store the hospital annual hazardous waste volumes. So this is the site layout of hazardous waste collection facility. Um, it shows how the area is divided and structured to ensure safe storage, easy access, and regulatory compliance. And this is the conclusion and recommendation. To conclude, the best location for a B3 waste facility is in Taman Sidoarjo due to its low transportation cost. And also, a large warehouse of around 5 hectares is needed to restore the waste. And we identified risks such as fire, chemical reactivity, and pollution, which must be addressed. And for the recommendation, I recommend developing a provincial B3 waste facility and including risk mitigation in the design, such as fire safety and protective equipment. For future research, it's important to consider social and environmental impact, not only cost and logistics. And these are the references used in this study, including the journal articles, books, government regulation, and news sources. So that's all for it. Thank you.